I see a black man and one man, I think of strength, black empowerment we have within, building community development. Let's continue to build our own. Let's continue to stay strong. Motivation, no matter the hate, no stopping. You just go. Listen up to Quan, John, and Queen P for giving us a voice. Speak up for what's yours and yell and make that noise. We are kings and we are queens. Melanated royalty, just getting started. Loving self, self and knowledge. Stack that wealth. Motivational motors, y'all.
Film. This is not your typical slavery
Right.
film.
Right.
Not on top of that, you know, we in 1863.
Right.
And you know, to make this a bit more more entertaining, you know, because this film is for all people, but my focus is for the youth. How do we reach the youth?
Right.
Where it's educational, but also entertaining, where it's appealing to the ears and eyes. And that was the conversation I had while writing this script. So what I chose to do was to be able to twine entertainment within this film.
Right.
So in certain scenes, not each scenes, you have a bit of music, you have a bit of poetry, you have a bit of dancing. I'm using all the arts there is, right? And even down to the music. The music is not your typical 1863, you know, Negro spiritual, right?
Right.
It has to be entertaining that I can kind of bring these youth in, because once they take a look and begin to look at this film, there's only a few seconds. Either you got them or you don't.
That's right.
That's anything with youth. I got 4
That's
girls.
right. That's right.
So if it's not entertaining to them, you lost.
They're gone. That's
They're
right.
gone.
They're gone.
So I have music such as a bit of hip hop, trap songs, country, rock, blues, R&B, got some of everything that's in this film here.
You know what I love about that? Not too many films do that. And the only time I've ever seen that before, it threw me way off. And it was with Lovecraft Country. Because you know, Lovecraft Country is set, what year is that? We're looking at like, what, the 40s, maybe the 50s, right?
Okay.
But they use music from today. Like they're driving down the street in like an old beat up car, but you hear Megan Thee Stallion in the background. Like it's
right. See, that's the thing, you know. It's the message that we're putting out. The message that we're putting out. And you got to understand that music itself is a powerful force to be reckoned with. Entertainment is a powerful force to be reckoned with. So how do you match what we're doing and what we're putting out, the message that we're putting out to the masses, and you're trying to focus on a selective group, and that's the youth? You have to. There's no way. You have to twine in entertainment. This is how you meet with them. This is what they understand. So when they hear something that sounds like J. Cole's, or they hear a trap song, automatically when you hear a new song or anything new on the radio, the first thing your brain does, it allows you to begin to nod your head. Automatically, if you know the music.
That's right. That's right. You
nod your head. Whatever it is, you nod your head. You know what I mean? So with this music here and what we're twining in the energy. We're bringing up the frequency of the center lobe of our brain, of when the youth hear that, automatically it brings them to a high a vibration, because music itself carries a vibration anyway. Everything that we see carries a vibration. Our conversation that we're having is a vibration, and it has frequency levels. So what we have to do is be able to bring that frequency level on a high note, on that high frequency. And that's what we're doing with this film, because even though the situation is on a low frequency, the music is leveling it out and bringing it on a balance, if that makes sense. Because
it makes a lot of sense.
This world itself carries a balance. What we learned in school, that the earth sits on its axis and it rotates. Right?
Yo,
so we carry a balance with anything that we do. The way you dress, you carry on a balance.
That's right.
So within this film, I wanted a bit of balance in this, with a bit of low frequency that's needed and a bit of high frequency. And when you blend that in together, it carries absolute balance. So when they hear that, even though they don't know the words, when they begin to hear that beat to come on or that music placement in the film, like, man, that's hard.
Right.
You got it. Boom. And then when that message or the words, the lyrics begins to start flowing, oh man, I didn't know nothing about Harvey. I didn't know that. You know what I mean? So I'm basically using that as bait.
That's exactly what you're doing. Huh? Portia?
I wonder, are you releasing the soundtrack with the movie?
Yes, we're releasing the full soundtrack.
Okay.
Yeah, full soundtrack. Yeah. So that's basically what we're doing.
James, for real, like, I want you to know that what you just said a minute ago is absolutely genius. For real. Because what you actually did, you're controlling the emotions of the viewer.
Right.
That's what you're doing. You're guiding the emotions of the viewer. You're basically, and I kind of live by this mantra that bad things happen for good reasons. I say it all the time. Bad things happen for good reasons. So you can put someone in a dire situation.
Right.
However, but if that person has perspective, they will overcome the situation. So you got the movie of slavery on a plantation, but you playing music, letting the viewer know they gonna get out of this situation. You let them know. You foreshadowing. I don't know if they know it, but this is what you're doing. The music allows them to feel like, damn, I see them getting their ass beat, but you know what? I know this next scene is gonna be something different. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it makes me, when I see, you know what I'm saying? Because if you use it's crazy with the way you said it. It's like the vibration and the frequency makes you feel differently about what you're seeing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't feel terrible about this because I know this is going to lead to a very good outcome, my brother. Very genius. Very kudos to you, my dude.
And this wasn't just thought of. There's people who knows and understand balance.
Yeah.
Who understand vibrations, has been doing this all along. Right. This ain't nothing new under the rim.
Right.
And then not only that, we go back to our ancestors, the ones that had to go through what they had to go through throughout those years. Families split apart, torn apart, been beating and being, castrated, all of that, all of the stuff that we know of and things that we read and things that we've seen. It's hell, right?
Hell.
They live through absolutely hell. But even then, I do know of when our people was out there in those fields picking cotton, if it was in the south, or if it was more towards the east, they was doing sugar canes. Okay, these people, a lot of times, what they will use to take their minds off the situation and the life that's around them, that world that was around them. They use music, they use vibrations.
That's right.
That's why you hear where the Negro spirituals would come on, where there was a lady out there in the field or a guy out there in the field, and it's about, it's about 40 of them, 50 of them out there picking cotton, and then they automatically start coming up with songs, it's hot out, different things. If it's hot, they coming out with a song called "It's Hot."
Right. It's
they ready to go out, ready to leave.
Sound like this is what rappers do.
Whatever they did, they expressed that, right? That was an energy that taking them away from the situation that I am in. That was a
that's the birth of rap music right there. That's the birth of rap music.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly.
So we've done that for many years, of just really and somewhat
taking
just
hardship
taking the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the mind and just kind of, we know the situation, we see the situation.
That's right.
But it's like they do something. I can't even express it. But
it's genius. It's like, how do you? It's like, how do you do this? You know what I'm saying? How are you in this situation, but you not letting the situation become you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You said something else that was real quick, Portia. I'm sorry. You said something else before that was real telling about, you got to tell this story, because you know what I'm saying? Because if I sit up here and I look at the Oprahs and the Beyoncés and the Serena Williams, if there was no Sarah, there's no Oprah and there's no Beyonce and there's no Serena Williams.
Right.
Sarah had to be that first prototypical figure and template to overcoming her adversity.
Right.
For them to be birthed, Oprah, Beyonce, or Serena Williams.
Yeah, most definitely.
She had to come before them. You understand?
Right. Right. That's
crazy,
it. That's where the power relies.
That's where
that the situation, and it is kind of crazy just talking about it, but I mean, the situation itself was wicked, and we always ask ourselves or say to ourselves, "Oh man, I couldn't survive that back then."
Right.
But how could they?
Right.
How could they?
We got to understand and ask that question. How could they?
We are they. We are
how
could they?
They had to empower themselves in a way. They had to encourage themselves in a way that we can't even think of to go through that situation.
Right.
And I'm big on vibration. I'm big on power and leveling out power. It's no different of for an example, it's no different in your car, right? If you pop your hood up in your car, right? If and I tell you, Portia, I tell you to unhook the positive. No. I tell you unhook the negative post from your battery. Leave the positive post. And when you unhook the negative, leave the positive post hooked up. I want you to go into your car and try to crank it up. Do you believe it would crank?
No.
Okay. Vice versa. I'm going to say, okay, remove the positive post, plug up the negative post. Get back in your car and try to crank it up. You believe it will crank?
No.
And the reason why it won't crank, because there's no balance. There has to be a balance of positivity and negativity, or positive energy and negative energy.
That's right.
It was designed that way. There's a positive pulse and there's a negative pulse that's in your vehicle. That's giving it the power to crank. You understand? To give it the power to really do what it does the way it was created. So that's the same thing as we as humanity.
Right.
We have to go through certain things. We have to endure certain things to get us where we need to be. It comes with molding and shaping and sculpting a better Portia, because Portia wasn't the same yesterday as she is now, sitting talking to me. You're not the same. Your thoughts has changed.
Right.
Even from the time you're sitting, you're not in the same space.
Right.
So it's all of it deals with forces and power and energy and balance. And that's why I can say, and I'm gladly this, how our people survive. That's how our people can endure all things. They have thrown the worst at us, and we're still standing.
That's right. Man. Woo, my brother. Yo, man. Like I said, what you got in you, man, I wish they can bottle. I wish they could bottle what you have in you, James Jr., man. Because I know a lot of people, even in my own family, that can't see or feel what you have in you. And they also have it in them, but they don't recognize it.
There you go.
You understand? And that's the difference between like a positive person and a negative person, an optimistic person and a pessimistic person. They both have the same thing. The optimistic person just realizes it.
There you go.
That's it.
That's it.
They just realize it.
Right.
You understand, my brother?
It's no different between
no
you
different.
No.
The optimistic, they just realize it, and they're going for it.
Oh yeah.
And I wish many of and when we collectively as Black people like I said, start embodying that collectively, we can't be stopped.